Masks of Gnarltep is set in the 1920s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It is not our intention to offend, we merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to the Nerds Domain presents Masks of Gnarltep. Join us each week as our investigators follow a path of clues and attempt to save the world from an ancient evil. Starring John Quiet, Justin Kimmett, Shirley Nedswicki, George Chipples, Jason Hall, and Scott Troiano, with me, Matt Quiet, running the table as the Keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed cultists await you just beyond this music.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to the Nerds Domain podcast. Today I'm here with Shirley. You say hi now.
Oh, hi!
Scott.
Hola!
George.
What's happening?
Jason.
Hello.
Johnny.
Hi.
Jesse.
Hi now.
And baby Simon, who you probably won't hear, but he's here.
Hopefully.
Here's the baby.
So as we left off last time, someone had just burned down a building. There was a thing in a hole.
Oh, that.
But really quick, let's talk about Johnny's character. Johnny, how are you feeling over there?
Ian Byrne is not right. Does not have his right mind in going on right now. That's the other character we're using to save it.
So, Johnny, last game you lost how much?
Oh, I need to make a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, gee.
13 sanity.
Nice round number there.
Yeah.
That was out of, what, 45 is where you started?
45 is where it starts.
So, according to the rules, when you lose...
1/5.
1/5 in an hour, which that was all in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You suffer some insanity effects. So
that is true.
Here's what we are doing with that. Johnny, you don't remember zombies. What are you talking about? Yeah. You have no clue that there were zombies. There was something in the hole. It was horrible, but you don't remember what it looked like, smelled like, sounded like, nothing. You vaguely remember a guy with some claws, and you only remember the claws because I believe George is now carrying those. Is that right? So that's a yes from George.
So does he substitute? In other words, when we go, well, remember when you looked down in the hole? He'd be like, yeah, sewage was all over. Or does he just go, hole? Don't remember. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I guess that's up to Johnny.
Okay. Do I at least remember figuring out that Inquain was part of the murder plot?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
You know that
Inquain
Inquain was part of the murder plot, that there was a cultist in the basement. In fact, in your mind, you might even remember 5 cultists total, because there were 4 zombies.
There were no walking corpses.
There were zombies. Yeah.
Drug down cultists.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just killed a bunch of people.
So they kill it with fire. He's okay with just it was all normal stuff.
Yeah,
they were cracked out cultists, and they had to be put down.
If someone points out directly to you that there were in fact zombies, or you hear that talked about over the course of a conversation, I suggest you stop talking in that conversation. That would be my way for you to deal with that.
Fugue state kind of thing?
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't suggest you go totally fugue, because that's kind of hard to do in an audio podcast, but if they're like... What?
What was the book I picked up?
That's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe you should have written that down.
I think it was Tribes or something. Or
more importantly, maybe you should record or listen to the recordings.
Since that episode's not out yet, so he couldn't have
Dun.
No. The fight is not online yet.
Oh, that book. I thought you meant one of the books from the libraries.
No.
Fine, I'll give you that. You guys want me to go back over the list of stuff you got?
Talking?
Yeah.
Yes.
Will it be okay if I don't remember details, but I remember something bad happened because I kind of thought.
Yeah, I mean, you killed some people, and that's not necessarily good.
It could be you went downstairs, there was a fight, but you think you hit your head on something, so it's kind of vague.
Well, basically, what I'm going to get at this is out of character knowledge, everyone. So I know I've been working with Ichabod for a while now. I've not yet believed anything he's had to say, but now I'm like, you may know what you're talking about, and I'm going to respect what you do more.
He just got some street cred because he was talking crazy before, and now you're like, ooh.
Wait. and while I won't acknowledge it or talk about it, I will be more accepting of what he has to say.
Okay.
Does that work for everybody?
That works for me.
Next question. Who all lost sanity?
I lost 2 points.
It looks like
so
I think
lost 1.
I did.
Okay,
so everybody lost sanity.
To be fair, I started with an 85.
Well, and that was my thought. Was
To be fair, I'm way better.
I'm way
Well, no,
saner
like
than
I mean,
you
he's got
are.
like 45, which is a huge difference.
Well, and that's what I thought, because you said from 45, and which takes you now like down to 6. I'm not good at math.
33.
But I started at 75, and I'm like, okay, if I started at 75 and he started at 45, and he's the investigator, was he just BS crazy to begin with?
That's me.
Or
No, you're not Byrne.
I'm
Why'd you put
asking
Byrne?
the storyteller.
I can't. I'm
No,
being
what-
distracted. Go ahead.
Okay. So you get to let
If I'm at a 75 and he's in an 85 as far as sanity goes, and he started at a 45, was he just bat-ass crazy to...
It's
my-
that his mind cannot handle those things as well as yours can.
Oh, okay.
It's
All right.
like
Okay.
it's like
Totally doesn't believe me.
you may be able to eat spicy food. Johnny can't eat spicy
Yeah, I
food
knew a guy
because
once
his
who couldn't
stomach.
even eat mild at BW3s, and I was just like, really? How
Also-
does- yeah, I know.
You know another one of those guys.
Also-
He's sitting right here.
I
But
know.
also, one point of order too. In the book, it says it's not how sane you are, your amount of sanity. If you've got 1 point of sanity, you're just as sane as if you have 55 points of sanity, as long as you haven't lost a bunch in between.
Oh,
then.
so it's the coping mechanism.
Yeah, it's
not-
how much you lose in a go that determines kind of whether you go insane or not. But you're still, if you're at 1 point, you're still have control and you're sane and you're with it. But once
Okay.
you're at 0, you're
Okay, so it's not like 1 point equals Robin Williams on a bender
yeah.
for anyone. Okay,
So you're
all
5
right.
sanity. It's not like I'm
Yeah.
really.
Also,
It's not on
Okay.
the humanity scale of morality.
Ah,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
I was new to this game, so if you go back and listen to the Character podcast, he kind of was like, "Yeah, that's fine. That's an average number."
So he cut your legs out from under you without even...
For the record, on a 3d6, 9 is average-ish.
Uh-huh.
It's a little low.
Also,
It's a little low, so
of-
how is it
Of the,
average?
of the 6 of us sitting at the table, if you go back and listen to my character creation, he does not stress credit rating being important at all.
And if you go back and listen to the podcast 3 weeks ago now,
Yeah.
you'll notice that I gave Johnny the chance to up his credit rating for free.
Yes.
You did.
So,
that is that.
to go back to
So
the...
we burn the building
well,
down.
we're going to go back to the basement real quick so Jason can write this stuff down.
Me too.
You got the robes off of the priest.
Those were like vestments, like
Yeah, they are
a costume.
long feathered shawl of shimmering colors.
Shimmering as in supernatural? Or
No,
just
no.
shiny?
They're just shiny.
Something
you,
Hefner would wear when he's smoking.
Nice.
you also got the lion claws.
Yeah, can you stat those out for me real quick?
They do a d6.
Okay.
So all your punching will start at a d6, and you can add your damage bonus and
I don't have a damage one.
and your martial arts go on those.
Doesn't the martial arts double that?
It can.
They
Okay.
can.
And then my question would be: so what do these look like? Just like if I walk around with them, I've got a pair of lion paws. that I'm
Yes.
carrying around, so it'd be kind of odd.
A little
Well,
bit.
come
I
on,
am
man.
kind of odd, so it's okay.
You're walking around in pajamas.
And the way you've described yourself, your sleeves drop down far enough, you might be able to hide them.
Interesting.
Do they look like weapons or do they look like costume?
They look like costume, but if you get close enough, they're clearly sharp and dangerous.
And reinforced.
And they are, in fact, a magic item of sorts. Something is magically inclining them to stay together like this.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell that just from looking at them. No occult roll needed.
But I'm not going to, at least as far as I know so far, go insane if I use them.
As
or-
far as you know, currently, you are not going to go insane from using them.
Fantastic.
You should let that guy hold on to him and hit somebody in the head.
Him?
See if Botticello.
Botticello?
Let him punch somebody in the head with him and see if it kills him instantly. And if they do, then we know it could just be him.
Next, there is a book called Africa's Dark Sects.
That's what you get.
This book was on loan, or has gone missing from
Harvard Library.
There is a mask. We could get into rolls for that here in a minute.
What?
A mask.
Get into roles.
Yeah, there's rolls to identify what it's made out of, what it means,
Okay,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff. There is a burnished copper bowl. It is etched with unrecognizable runes and signs. You don't have any options for that, so that's all you know about that. There is a carved scepter. It also has runes on it. Does anyone know Egyptian?
Like hieroglyphics?
Yes.
Egyptian the language or
No,
hieroglyphics?
actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
makes
no.
sense for your character.
Yeah, I know. It's the next language I plan on saying.
And then there's a headband of gray metal.
Oh yeah, the Power Man tiara.
Yes. That is what we talked about.
And do any of these make us feel uncomfortable, nauseated, any sort of negative effects by just looking at them or being close to them?
No, you know that the claws are definitely... The claws and the mask... Everything but the book is some sort of ritual object.
Just some kind of woozy stuff.
It doesn't make you feel weird just looking at it. You'd have to do some research to really find out much.
Mm-hmm.
And then even then you may not be able to. So let's talk about the mask. Anyone can roll a botany. Yeah, that's right. Nobody's got botany because it didn't make sense for anybody.
We can try, right?
Yeah, botany would fall under... Wow, botany's not on...
Biology, maybe?
I will let you roll biology. That's fine.
I have a 1% chance.
Yeah, that's enough.
Do you want Jesse to roll for you, John?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, 82.
Nope.
So nobody got that.
82.
And then anybody can roll an archaeology.
Oh, not anthropology?
Nope.
Archaeology.
No dice for me.
Nope.
Passed by 41.
Okay. The mask is of Congo origin.
I will, of course, explain all this to the party.
Yep. It looks like
Like everybody do the conga?
it's from some sort of Congolese cult. Yeah, it's the word that the
Yes,
the book
that is the
uses.
word.
Yeah, from the Congo.
Congolese.
Correct.
Chinese.
Um, If you, Jason, you can also roll a cult. Jason can roll a cult.
I can't roll a cult?
No.
Hot 5.
Okay. There are some magical properties to this. You know that to get those to go off, you'd have to put the mask on.
Put it on.
Don't put the mask on. Don't listen to them. They're insane. Don't put the mask on.
But you might want
If he goes to put the mask on, because we're still in the afterglow of...
You guys, I assume
I
you've
assume
made
they
it
went home.
You've made it out to the car.
Yeah, basically,
And
I'm sitting
have
back in the car going like...
2 cars. But it's,
Well, you're out by the cars. You haven't left yet, but the building isn't on fire yet because you were in a basement way down. The building will eventually go into up fire,
Right.
and smoke will start pouring out here soon.
Because it was my understanding that we have a formal party to go to later this evening.
We do,
in-game,
yes.
While I'm thinking that 3 to 13 sanity loss would result on us going back to our heavily armored hotel rooms and counting bullets until midnight at least.
that was my plan.
As a reminder, you have a party to attend.
Right, so
That's what
my
we were
thought
talking
is
about, yeah.
sanity loss affects going to the party versus cowering in a closet beneath our wardrobe counting shotgun
You
shells
lost,
as
what,
how?
2?
3.
That's not that bad.
Well, I wouldn't think it's like 13.
Yeah.
It could have been a worse.
So,
I'll wait in
okay,
the car.
I'm going to take the book. Like,
Oh no, I assume you
yeah,
guys
like
take
it's
all of
Harvard
this
property.
stuff.
It's going in my bag.
I assume you take all of this stuff
Yeah.
before you lit the place on
Uh,
fire.
I guess I'll take like the mask will be in my care too, so I can kind of like study it.
Okay.
Okay, if, are we? So we're out by the car.
What's
Do I
that
catch? You're going over the mask. Are you going to try to put the mask?
No, I'm not
on?
going to be like, I wonder, Steak.
Hang on a second.
Yeah,
Hang on a
okay.
second. We're going to a costume party, right?
Yeah, no.
You've got a bag.
No. This is not a costume party.
It's a
Yeah, if you
formal
go to put the mask
dress.
on, I will
Dark Wuju match from the zombie apocalypse? Yeah, totally, Colin.
bolo your arms to your side if
Yeah,
I
think
have
of
to.
the movie The Mask.
Yeah, exactly. Does it when he looks at the inside of it and turns it? Does it have that little shimmery on the inside?
Oh yeah, no.
The mask does?
No, it's
Yeah,
it's
no?
just wood.
Oh,
So was The Mask in the Mask.
right, exactly. That's what I'm hoping for. I want to hear that.
Um.
I gotta put it on now.
So, at this point, you have successfully killed a cultist, or killed a cultist, right?
Yes.
No.
Fuck that, we killed a cult.
Yeah.
You destroyed something evil. Everyone can roll a d6. Johnny, somebody could roll for you.
I'll take the
I do
scepter
that
also, if you don't
I need
mind.
a D6. Can I borrow a
5.
D6? What are we rolling for?
Just roll the d6, please.
We want high. We want
You
low.
want high.
We want high.
Good.
Yay.
6. 4.
And that would be the sanity you gain back.
Yes.
Up to your maximum.
Up to your maximum. Okay.
Oh, so I can't
Even
become
me?
more sane than I...
Yes.
Why not?
Yay.
So, part of how you're coping with this, Johnny, is the fact that you know that something terrible was down there and you killed it. And you feel better about that.
The guy who murdered our potential client was definitely there, and his
Yeah.
I
his
would like the
compatriots.
doctor to try to heal me again.
That will take a week.
Yeah.
Do we
Ouch.
have an individual tied up?
Well, I have.
Yeah.
No.
you-
Do we?
Yes, I believe you stuck in Quain.
No,
and
we
it's
have.
Quain.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
the
No,
shop owner.
We had him tied up.
I
He's
assume-
dead
Still
now.
in a shop.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Did you guys leave him in the shop?
No, I walked
No.
up the stairs and shot him.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Oh,
Well,
did
there
you?
go.
Doing it now.
Oh, well, there's a difference between I went upstairs and shot him
I suppose there
right
is.
now.
I'm going to do that.
And you're outside, right, Jason? You're already outside because you don't want to be anywhere near.
Oh yeah, no, I was
anything
like,
that.
this is bad. Yeah.
And I'm going to
So
be one
now
of the
you
last
see
people
what
up,
I'm saying.
shotgun up
Okay.
blazing,
The only
because
successful answer
whatever
to
the
this
hell
is
was
to
in
put them
that
back.
well.
Yeah, I'm literally like in the car at
That-
the wheel,
by
like,
the way,
come on, guys.
going to the well and seeing that squeegee little that will get my ass in a field pack, pith helmet, and full shotgun everywhere we're going.
Nice.
I don't want to hear about it.
I'm not going to complain about what you're wearing.
Okay.
All right, I'll take
And
the
my
second.
apologies for the PJ.
We're not
comments earlier.
together at the moment.
Now,
Gives you full
lion's
range of
paws,
motion.
all good.
There's a reason.
All right.
The scepter was Egyptian?
It has hieroglyphics on it.
Okay. Well, I would recognize the hieroglyphics. I would be able
Yes.
to tell what they mean.
Yeah.
Just about everybody would recognize hieroglyphics.
Not really in this time period.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
maybe-
the time period, you're
well,
right.
like the
For us, though, we would.
Yeah.
the tablet or whatever that was found,
Mm-hmm.
I think was after this time.
No, it's found by Napoleon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
That
Well, no,
was-
but it wasn't like figured out.
Yeah, it was
Until
figured
much
out
later.
just
No,
as
I
soon
think
as
they
it was
did because they
found.
had 3 languages on
Yeah.
it, and so that
Well,
gave them enough
Yeah.
to...
I've been
Yeah.
big game hunting in Cairo and Egypt. You've been
in the
haven't you?
1800s, it was figured out.
Probably
It just was
not, but
very
I'm studying.
difficult
I would
to
recognize
go through and do
hieroglyphs.
all
Yeah,
that.
like I remember
I know he
they
would.
found the tablet for forever.
Yeah.
And they had
But
it,
I don't know if
they
these
didn't.
two would.
Well, and
like they
it's
weren't
all-
able to figure out
The
how to decode the
1920s
language.
is a
from
lot
it.
of Egyptian fever too.
Yeah.
People
That's-
love Egypt.
They were,
so
they were doing stuff in Egypt at that point.
even if
Oh, yeah,
if
no,
people don't know
hieroglyphs.
what the hieroglyphics
Oh, they
mean,
started.
they've probably
They
seen
started
it in
doing
the
some
news.
serious
Yeah.
making in
Well,
1914
is there photography
and
in
went
this
forward.
area?
As the Sherlock
World War
Okay.
One began.
books came out.
Yeah.
Matt,
I can't remember all the stories.
That's what, T. Lawrence was.
Ask Johnny.
Archaeologist.
Well, we all
What
know
I'm gonna
Stargate
do
was found in 1926.
is
so
I'm gonna have
Come
like
on.
some pictures taken of it,
Okay.
like
we all know the Stargate
like
was found.
4 or 5, I guess,
Okay.
from like different
Right.
angles with the writing and all that.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm
How
gonna
would
have
you know
those like
hieroglyphics?
fast sent to Harvard
I
since
have-
we're close by.
I have
Mhm.
photography equipment for my
There you
job.
I
go.
would also suggest maybe going to Arkham because there's the professor that you want to talk to. You might.
That's
take
Yeah,
it
that's
with
what I was going to do, is
Yeah.
take it to them. I'm not going to take the staff, I'm going to take
Yes.
the
When he
hieroglyphics,
was
write them
writing
down
Sherlock,
what it
Yes.
is, so they
Okay,
don't
keep
actually
me
have
there
going
were
it.
to
very
Batman.
many
Just take a road.
of
Say go to Arkham.
Yeah.
I'm like the
You don't
prison.
want to write
Let people
down
out.
that might do
No.
something.
or
Okay.
anything like that.
I'm sorry. It's sort of hardwired.
That's fine.
You might be casting a
really
spell and not
like-
realize
Like, is
that
the
you're all
Joker
like,
there?
Yeah.
This says Utag.
Okay,
I don't
so
remember
Satu
coming up at all,
Barata,
except maybe as a side.
well, those were
investigation
the
of
late
his.
1800s, and there wasn't the Egyptian fever of the 1920s.
He may have been like playing with it on the side before the real case of that particular story started, but I don't think any of the cases
yeah.
directly related.
I'll have him take some pictures. We'll
Okay,
keep it
well
on
let's
hand
let's
when
go.
we go meet that guy.
Let's go. Where are we headed next? Are
Well, we have to
going-
go to the hotel because we're going to just drop
Well,
some of this
at
shit
least
off anyway.
at least one of you needs to change of clothes because she got clawed up pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well, she's not wearing fancy clothes anyways. People
Right,
think
but
they were-
she's also bleeding.
Oh,
Is
right.
it possible
Oh,
to take
yeah.
take a 20 or whatever on
On the
medicine?
garments.
No, you'll have to roll it at the end of the week.
Okay.
I assume she'll be in your care for the week.
Well, I still need to roll first aid on her because
No, she's already-
At some point, you
I
got
had
first
something
aid.
first aid.
I'm going to
Okay.
look over it.
So I just know I wasn't there for it.
So, Weldy, what's with
What is your first aid?
the big
Not good.
paws?
Okay.
I have like a 50 in medicine.
Well,
but
we'll like
first aid,
politely,
just don't
laugh
do it right now.
politely.
Guys,
Mine's
I will
60,
appreciate
so
that
I'll
joke.
I'm
try
sorry,
first aid.
Scott. Could you repeat that question?
Certainly, I said at some point I'm going to look over and say, Weldy, what's with the big paws?
Weld laughs in character.
And is that the end of that
And I'm going
conversation?
to I want to look at them. What do we have here?
Oh, we'll show them to you.
So
They
these
fit on the hands.
claws from a lion
Fantastic.
are fixed to glove-like garments, so they can be worn on each hand. So each finger articulates just like a glove.
Okay, I'm going to inspect actual lion. Are we talking
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
male lion, female lion?
Decently sized female lion.
Quite respectable.
I put them on my hands and do a couple martial arts katas, if you will, and move through the forms.
In light of what we just saw in the basement, I suggest you wear those everywhere we go.
Do you do your tiger's paw form
Oh yeah.
a lot?
Tiger sachet.
Yeah. So, where you guys are headed to go change, and then are you headed to the party next? Is that what?
What time of day
he
is it?
wants.
Well,
I
it's
suggest
getting
getting
close.
photos
It's
done.
Yeah, we're going
it's
to take
getting
the photos
close
now.
to a point that you will have to leave if you're going to make it to the party on time. You have enough time to take photos.
You
That's
can be
fine.
fashionably late.
What are we taking photos of?
all
scepter.
this stuff.
Well, by on time I mean
Yeah.
fashionably.
For insurance claim
No,
purposes?
when we go
when
to ask people what the hieroglyphics say on the scepter, I'm not going to go, what's this mean, and lay the scepter on the table. We're going to show the pictures and
Why
say,
not?
what's this mean? Because I don't want somebody to go, it means this is my smack.
because
Again, I don't do this for a living. Okay.
because Scott, that they could like run to your hotel room and toss it.
Shut up.
Or
Yeah.
this is what Botticello would do: is murder the person bringing the thing to him and then steal it from them.
Very good. So that's how you think. Never mind.
I'm also
better
going to
now.
have the hotel management store the stuff in their house safe.
Yeah.
Not in our rooms.
All of it.
All the
Yes.
important stuff.
So like the book, the scepter,
And how
the
about we don't
robes,
tell anybody where we are anymore?
everything but the claws.
We've
I assume.
changed all of the hotel rooms.
Oh,
We've
that's
changed
right.
them.
They're all
We've
anonymous.
changed
Okay,
them.
yeah,
And so unless they rumble the management,
I don't
we
intend to,
should be okay.
Do I have
Be at the
access
party?
to more than one
I
shotgun?
could hold on to something in the car if you want.
Do I have access to more than
You
one
mean
shotgun?
Yeah. With a little bit of time spent, you could get another one.
Okay.
He's
how
like,
much-
I'm
how
fairly
much time
certain
are we
the
talking
scepter
about?
You'd have to
like
go
a
to a store
dune
and buy
walker.
one.
Yeah.
So half hour,
Like a
45
copy of
minutes.
this
Okay,
game.
not like
yeah,
a
just
week.
like upscaled.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm
It
should I
means I walk
bring
around
the
with a
gun
cool
while
scepter. I'll walk around with a cool scepter.
No, it's not that kind of party. And I think, should anything arise, there will be.
Oh,
larger
yes,
problems.
our friend, what was his name again?
It's a good question, isn't it?
The help.
Yes, the help. I don't remember the help's names. Yes, he'll be there and several other individuals. So I will stow the shotgun and the pith helmet and go with the night suit. Although I will be carrying the handgun and at least 2 to 4 bolos. Because they've been really, really beneficial so far. In the big city. Who'd have thought? I
I'm
love
also-
hunting here.
I'm going to wash up, and I'm also going to change into a suit and dress like a nice person.
Okay.
Bring in the line
A
cloth.
suit or a
Not even in the
tux?
car. Put him in the car.
Okay, I'll take him in the car.
So a suit or a tux? Because the
Oh
tux
my
would be.
God.
Tuxedo.
Yes.
Tuxedo.
So-
I'm
Do
actually
I
wearing
have a
appropriate
tux or-
formal wear.
You would have something, yes. It's expected that you would attend such functions while here.
I will. Do I have my dress uniform?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
I'll wear my dress uniform.
You even might have your dress uniform as well.
I would not be wearing my uniform at this point in
Okay,
time.
that's fine. Are you going to the party, Johnny?
I'm going. I'll probably just pop in and out and hang out. most
Are
of the
you?
time.
What are you wearing?
Pop in, go, and then leave. Good. Wonderful.
At a certain point, when we're at the
well-
hotel, I'm going to come to you and to Byrne and put a hand on your shoulder.
Real quick to answer your question, he got me a suit or a tux. I don't know what.
The tux.
Tux.
Yes.
Good
Than
tux.
that. Yes.
But I approach you and say, Mr. Byrne, are you quite right? I notice you seem shook from what happened.
I think I'll pull through, but I need some time to figure out.
If you
What?
need anything, and I nod my head, you are there for me. I would like to be there for you.
I appreciate that. Maybe we could step into the quote back room and get a drink before heading out again.
I would enjoy that, yes.
Burn me some liquid
Or a little
courage.
So,
China
I
white.
will also
with
approach
the
Byrne.
wounds that
Take
I
the
have,
edge off.
I need to just-
Not that far.
Hold on, guys. No,
Sorry.
we gotta cut down on table talk a little bit. What'd you
with
say?
the wounds that I have, would I be able just to go to my room and then patch myself up? Or
You'd be able to cover. In fact, with the first aid that you were given by, I believe, Weld.
No, I don't know
No,
first aid.
it
That was me.
It was-
Oh, by
Oh, yeah.
I can wrap you.
He
if that's
bandaged
necessary.
you up enough that you're not like bleeding through your clothes, but there is blood. Once you get to your room, you can rebandage yourself to keep the blood from seeping out and
Yeah.
still dress without a problem.
Nothing plunging
So you were going to go to
Sometime
No.
before we
Of
leave
course
out, I'm
you
going to
probably
approach
saw that.
Byrne also.
Yeah.
okay.
So, we have seen things. I've told you about my stick. I believe you have a pair of brass knuckles that you like to use every now and then.
Sure.
I can do to them what I did to my stick. Would you appreciate that? No innuendos involved in this.
What do you do with
There are certain things in this world that require drastic measures.
I'm inclined to update my opinion about you after this evening, sir. So anything you can do to give me an edge in whatever is going to come down the pipe, I think I can say I accept. And
There are certain sacrifices involved. First off, I require you to witness this so you know what it takes.
want to watch.
It also requires $75.
Well,
We have to pay the farm.
the farmer?
Yeah. Yes, it requires, as I said, a certain sacrifice. I know of a farmer who's willing to keep his mouth shut. However, and loan me the use of his cattle.
Please tell me he's not having this conversation.
No, they're in private.
Thank you.
Definitely not.
Tell me this is not public.
Well, I mean, is this tonight or just?
It would
soon?
be after the
Party. So where
party.
Okay. Well,
It needs to be done at night. It would be best to be done before we leave, so we can use the same farmer.
all right.
I would also
guess
like
so.
to invite Whitworth to come along. He seems to be of the inclination to like to see this sort of thing. And I would also like to invite Miss McCree, because it's always good to have a female involved.
Wow.
No. I would like to invite...
So can you gain sanity loss from other people doing ritualistic murder to cattle?
Yeah, well, it depends if they use magic while they do it.
Oh, like he's planning on doing. Good. Okay,
I'm not
good,
saying
never
that's what
mind.
he's planning on doing, but however, if that were to happen,
Terrible idea. It's what he just said. You don't know if it's...
if
All
I
right,
do
go
a
ahead.
ritual, it will... I thought we talked earlier that it would not impart to...
I said it's possible.
Okay.
Did I just say it's
No,
possible?
you said it wasn't.
No, I mean just right now. I said it's possible.
You said it's possible.
So maybe this spell does, maybe this spell doesn't, but it's possible.
What's the odds? Anyway, I want Miss McCree to come along also in case the sacrifice is more... Let's just say sometimes the price for some things can be great. And I want somebody there who's capable of taking care of situations if they arise. I've only done this once in my life. Nothing bad happened from it. But I have read of other people doing things like this.
Well,
And bad things happening to them.
Well, I suppose we can ask her.
She seems like the type that wouldn't mind shooting a person if they need it.
Well, yeah, okay. I'll run it by her. You talk to
Can we go to the party
Windworth, and I'll
Okay.
talk to McCree.
now? I need a drink.
I would ask Captain Wilkerson, but he seems very interested in putting a hole in my head, so I'm quite sure it would not require much to convince him to do it. And I would rather have somebody who's more temperamental.
So accurate, sure. You thinking human sacrifice? Cause
Yeah, that's what I think he just outlined. Character. I think that's what he just outlined. We need to get the farmer's cow and then kill the farmer.
What? Just in case that doesn't work, we've got McCree on deck.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'm going to do a little side scene there with Mr. Byrne as well.
Side scene those, Mr. Byrne,
I'm
you're
popular.
I'm going to bring a bottle to your room.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Oh,
Hey Scott, please don't knock on the table.
Oh, geez. Wow. I just saw what that did to the recording.
Yeah.
Whoops.
So go ahead.
So, knock, knock. Should I knock on the mic?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no? Okay.
good evening, Captain Wilkerson.
Corporal, are you proper?
Working on it.
Some of the things we saw down there, and I pour a shot for both of us, don't require description. I just wanted to make sure you were doing well.
I think I'm doing as well as can be expected. But time will tell, I suppose.
Are you going to be okay for the party?
I may not be that sociable. I may just be at the car if anyone's looking for me. But
And should something come about where action is necessary, you will be capable?
yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Clink, we hit him. I just wanted to make sure.
I appreciate that.
Good man. And I leave.
All right. So, anybody else want to have a side meeting
With anyone
with
else.
Mr. Byrne?
Well,
You can show up at his door with the mask already on and go, "Booga, booga, booga," and watch him just shit himself. Right there. I mean,
No,
void his
I'll put
pants
the
right
cloth
there.
on, put the scepter in my belt, put on the mask, and be like,
And the robes. And the robes.
yeah, knock, knock, knock.
And watch Byrne just go, woo! And
Nice.
pass out. That would be great.
So, are we all ready to head to the party, or is there anything else that we wanted to do before we went?
It's party time.
You make your drive up. Takes about an hour.
What? Just to be clear, in case this comes up later, how are we going down, motor vehicle wise? Will we all fit in one car? Big car like that?
No.
I have
Big
a
cars.
car.
Big cars like that don't exist.
Are you driving?
Yeah.
I'm taking
I have a car.
I'm not riding with him.
Carriage is
ready
going
to
to
take
take a lot longer.
No,
I have a
I'm
car.
still worried about the
Can
crazy.
I take
Oh,
yours?
okay.
No, we'll take
How much standing did you
We'll
get
take
back?
just as long.
6. So I'm on 7 total.
Oh, hey.
So we got the professor and we got Byrne driving.
Those two cars should be fine.
Okay.
Somebody give me a ride.
Oh, you're driving?
He's
Oh, I'm riding with you.
I'm
Yeah, I've got
riding
it.
with Byrne.
I'm riding with Byrne also.
Oh, I'm with the crazy
Yes,
guy.
I will drive.
God bless him.
We divide along class lines for our rides.
Apparently we do.
I mean, you can go with them. I won't be offended, but, you know.
No. that's
Gun-toting
fine, because I'm
crazies,
following
and they're
you.
psychopathic.
Crazy.
Well, in light of recent events,
Aren't
I don't really
guys
consider you guys
heretical?
all
complete
worried
crazies
about my
anymore.
safety. I am a woman.
Yeah, suddenly carrying around a gun doesn't seem like such a terrible idea, does it, Mr. Wentworth?
Hey, I still don't want to carry one personally, but you know.
But you're willing to sidle up to the people who are more than willing to do that now. You're like, okay, great.
All right, you take your hour-long drive north. You're all dressed quite nicely. It's a brisk winter evening. It is still the 17th,
January 17th, not the 19th.
not the 19th.
Is it January?
Good for
Yeah.
us.
Why did I think it was September?
As you guys were finishing up, or as you guys were leaving your hotels, you see a newsboy on the street. Extra! Fire envelops tenements in Harlem. Extra!
I
Whoopsie.
want one of those.
Yep. He gives you one.
Okay, I read through
I'll take one as
anything.
well.
Police
Yeah.
have leads.
Police have no leads. There's
Mr.
not
Marcello,
believed to be
I'd
any
like to
deaths,
read
but
that after you're done.
they the number, like, they don't keep solid track of who lives in those buildings all the time.
Do we have the guy in the trunk? Didn't we have N. Quain with us?
No, he's been shot to death in the face by Mr. Byrne.
Mr. Byrne executed him when we were
I was
leaving.
leaving him.
Oh, I wasn't.
Nobody stopped me.
Oh,
I said I was going
man.
to do it. Nobody stopped me.
Yeah,
there
he
was
did.
Why would I stop you? I was going to do it.
Oh dear. Okay,
I was too
that-
shocked to notice at the time.
I was
So-
too
Yeah,
injured
amen to that.
notice.
Did you hear all that about fire envelops tenement?
No,
In
no, I
Harlem?
did not. I was in the area driving.
Okay, so you guys drive up to the estate. The gates are open. You don't see as many guards. You see them; they're there, but they're dressed nicely. They're looking appropriate. No dogs.
Oh, we don't constantly have the dogs on the way in the gate.
No. But as you drive up to the gate, the driver leans down to each of your cars you're driving,
Yes.
Mr. Byrne. He says, "Name."
Byrne, Botticello, McCree.
Mr. Welds.
Yes,
Yes.
Mr.
So,
Welds,
yeah.
yes.
Really, you'll find parking just to the east of the house. Feel free. If you need anything once inside, let one of the servants know.
Thank you.
Enjoy your evening, sir.
Indeed.
And then you're Mr. or Professor Wentworth. You're driving.
Yep.
Okay. You pull up. Name.
Wentworth, Weldon, Wilkerson.
Mr. Weld. It's a pleasure to see you this evening. You'll find parking right on the east of the building. Feel free to park anywhere, and then once inside, you'll see servants. Need anything, let them know. Erica is looking forward to speaking with you.
Well, thank you.
So you drive up. You guys park, I assume.
Not straight through the doors.
Yeah, vroom!
It's a party!
Johnny, Ian is staying out of the car for right now.
I'm going to go in and make an appearance, but
Okay.
I'll probably spend maybe 5 minutes inside.
So you
and
guys-
go back out.
Have arrived right about 9 o'clock, maybe just a couple minutes before. You are not the first, but you are clearly not going to be the last. The party is not full, but it's moving along.
But it will be a party, not. Yes, we're having a party. There are 3 people, and then all of us. And
No.
Okay,
No,
just checking.
You walk in the front door. It's closed. It's wintertime. But the what you have to guess is a guard is standing there and opens the door for you. He's standing outside in the cold. Opens the door for you.
Is it the woodwork guy?
Nope.
Okay, just checking.
I assume there's cocktails and...
Yep. The champagne and the whiskey and hard alcohol is all flowing. No beer. It's a little rougher to get beer. It's not as profitable, so it's not as easy to sell.
When the hell did Prohibition start again?
14, 15, 16?
And then it ended.
We got
No, I
a
thought it
few
was like-
years left.
World War II.
Oh, yeah.
That's a little before.
So,
we got a couple
theoretically,
years.
this is illegal.
That has no bearing on upper crust society.
Actually, according to Prohibition, only the purchase and sale of alcohol is illegal.
So you can make it all you want.
Okay.
Unless you don't have a license. You
Oh,
have to
well,
have a
there you
license
go.
to make it. Having it, unless they can track where you bought it from.
But you could
illegal about it.
theoretically have a license to make it, and you could give it as a gift, and that would be fine.
Yes, but licenses for making alcohol are all revoked during Prohibition.
Okay, then.
So I mean, it's a you
Bathtub
can't,
gin.
yeah.
Okay.
But this
Catch
stuff is
22.
probably all brought in from Canada. That's typical.
Canadian,
So-
eh?
I will be leaning heavily on my walking stick that has 2 notches in it.
Okay.
Oh.
Do you split up? Do you stay together? How does this work? How do you
If he
guys?
gets enough notches, he's going to start killing Protestants. Just saying.
How do you guys handle the party?
I'm
I'm going to
not-
stay by Weldy.
Okay.
I'm going to stay close to Whitworth.
What?
And that's how I got killed.
Nice.
On a side note, I will never put myself in a situation where he and I are alone in a room together.
So you said you're going to wander around and look at everybody's dress or fancy digs, or as it were. Oh, so are you splitting off from the rest of the group?
Vehement head shake.
I'm going to keep everyone in sight.
Okay, you'll stay in the same room or close by, but not.
I actually want, before we go in, because I know that you're not used to this sort of thing, I'll kind of just tell you, should you become uncomfortable or anything seems strange, feel free to come over and talk with me and the captain, should you be disturbed by anything.
Well, thank you for your concern. I'll keep that in mind.
Alright, so, and I kind of keep an eye on her, and
Okay.
Botticello too, probably.
I'm pretty sure everybody's keeping an eye on Botticello.
Yeah,
for the
why not?
first time that I'm inside, I stick to the walls, circle the room.
Take perimeter.
Specifically looking for anyone else who's connected to this case so far, be it the party that went to Africa and all that stuff. Not that I honestly expect them to show up, but
could you give me a spot hidden roll?
of course.
Can you give me a listen roll? And you're sticking with him. I'm sorry, Jesse. You're sticking with Wentworth. Wentworth, I assume you're sticking with Weld.
No.
So you're going to be alone with him because he's sticking.
Well,
with
no, I'll be in the
other
crowd
people.
with him
Okay.
close by.
So
I'm not going to be like, let's go off to the secret library
So
upstairs.
the two of you give me a listen as well. And since you're both of the proper crust, you're immediately engaged by
absolutely.
people.
There's people we know, I assume. Yes.
Well, or you know of.
Yes.
You're not super familiar with the New York crowd, but these are people you're aware of.
I know their cousins.
Yes,
and
yeah.
things.
And once they realize that you're here, they come and talk to you.
Okay.
And so I'm going to keep an eyeball around. How much of the security is armed? I mean, is there,
All of it.
so they're all carrying.
Some of the servants are also armed.
Okay, all right.
They're clearly security pretending to be servants, as far as you can tell. You can see that. You've seen that hardened look in a man's eyes.
Okay.
So,
I guess I have a question about the party.
Sure.
We'll just liken it to a movie, The Great Gatsby, that just came out. Did you see that?
Nope.
Okay, well, they went wild and crazy. You've seen a Baz Luhrmann movie,
yes.
Moulin Rouge.
Yes.
I know that crazy over the
It's
top.
not that.
Okay.
This is
so
realistic.
This is...
Nice.
No.
Well, but I mean, it's not
a calm-
hedonistic. It's,
No,
We're not
it's-
drunk yet either. It's 9.
Right.
Well...
There's a piano player
Okay.
playing
1 in the
a grand
morning.
piano. There's a large entryway. There's a parlor
cocktail
and a
party.
living area, a living room. There's a second and probably third floor, as far as you can tell. But everybody's kind of staying on the first floor. There's no one telling you not to go upstairs. But that's not what you normally do.
Yeah.
That's something else I would scope out as a hole in the security that
Okay.
might allow me to get upstairs.
Just
Just saying.
That's
have to be right
that's
now,
fine.
just in the future.
What did you get on your spot hidden?
Not.
No, you
I-
didn't.
36,
Okay,
yeah.
so
Need
you
a
spend the
piece of
time
scrap paper.
kind of moving around.
This would be not big.
Small.
Would listen by chance be an option for me as well?
No, because
Okay.
you're specifically spotting. You can listen in on the conversations, but that's going to slow down your perimeter. Is really what this is coming
Well,
down
this,
to.
I mean, it's slow. It doesn't have to be like.
You're going to have to stop yourself
Okay.
from moving. So you notice that there's the large entryway. There's a parlor. There's a dining room that has been kind of shortened to a table of just finger foods.
Orders.
There are plenty of people walking around with trays of food and drinks. There's a bar with a couple of bartenders in its own room by itself, and then there's a library. There's a couple of... Hold on, let me get the description. There are a couple of easy chairs, tables, reading lamps, ashtrays, spittoons, an elaborate high Victorian iron fireplace, a magnificent teak and slate billiards table, and several thousand volumes protected within unlocked glass cases along the wall. There are leather-bound complete editions of Trollope, Dickens, Bulweller Luton, Mrs. Radcliffe, Francis Parkman, and Ralph Waldo Emerson. And then the earlier works of George Washington Cable. And then there's tons.
All this walking by.
Yeah, like
Wow.
you're like as you walk in there, because you know you're looking for books.
Yeah.
You kind of slow down and start looking at
Right.
books. You don't see anything specific beyond that.
As I walk past the library, I try to catch the attention of someone, the book party.
Everybody, give me a luck, except except Byrne. Give me a luck roll. If anyone succeeds,
Yes.
okay. So the people that succeeded see Mr. Byrne kind of motioning towards them.
Well, not like saying hey in here, but like I guess the message I would be trying to indicate is this room needs to get checked out
Okay.
sometime tonight.
Okay. So you two are clearly aware of that.
Just to make sure that
Yeah.
he doesn't wander off on his own and do something crazy.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
I've got one more question about the scene. So first, how old is Eliza, the woman?
Erica?
Erica. Excuse me.
She is in her mid to late 20s.
And then what is the age breakdown of this crowd? Is it mostly other people in their late 20s, or are there people in their 50s?
At the oldest, you're looking at early 30s.
Okay.
This
Young
is the young
Yeah,
crowd,
we stick
which
out.
you know right now is the crowd. People older than that either went to the war and became disenfranchised and don't go to a lot of parties, or, I mean, that's like they were already. They already held what's the rank? So they went there, and a lot of them died, and a lot of other stuff like that happened. So you're not seeing a lot of older people because this isn't that scene anymore.
And there's no like old 50s or 60s, none of the older.
No.
So
established people. It's more of a young
basically the
person's
oldest
party.
men in the room are part of our party.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically.
Also,
Essentially, the social strata was winnowed down by the war.
you see all the men in tuxes, all of them. A lot of flapper attire, but still a lot of evening gowns and a respectable. And flappers aren't seen as like terrible, but they're not.
What's Erica
Some
wearing?
of the,
She's wearing a nice, like a silver evening gown that's appropriate for the time.
But not flapper.
no.
well, some of the, I mean, are you saying that the flapper style
Yes.
is infiltrating, but it's all still respectable?
Yeah, it's respectable-ish. It's not. It's not looked
it's
down
on the
on.
borderline
Yeah.
of scandalous.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
that's fair
but
enough.
the girls that are wearing the flapper dresses are looking for a better time, or
Yes.
come midnight 1:00
Yeah.
we'll be out on the dance floor dancing by themselves.
And they're usually drinking heavily, and they're smoking as well, which
tending towards the Gatsby thing that you were going towards.
yeah. I mean, it's not like crazy like
Awful.
people swinging from chandeliers or anything.
that
but
happened in that movie.
Yet.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what I was
But
trying
these
to
are
get at.
like they are smoking and sometimes cigars even, and that's unheard of in these
Right.
times.
The women are?
The women, yeah.
Unless they're a cowgirl, and I'm pointing at Shirley, whose character may smoke cigars. Does that make sense? Unless they're a cowgirl, you do not smoke cigars ever. That's unacceptable.
If you're a female.
Yes. So that's kind of what the flappers do, though. Break
So
that.
how do I get a hold of the cigar?
Go
Well, they
read
have
the
your-
box. It's over by the piano.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just
you
walk
may
by and
have
take one and be
or
like,
just
And
grab
actually,
it.
there's probably a gentleman carrying around a
Cigarette
cigar.
Tipperella.
Yeah.
a proper like cutting tool and to light for you and all of that. Do you get one?
Well,
It does break the idea of what you're doing.
well, yeah, I
If
know.
you, but you said some of the other women
She's
are.
not dressed as a
Make sure you
flapper
swing
though.
by.
Someone gave her classy clothes.
Not flapper.
Yeah,
No.
that doesn't seem weld. So,
I think give it some time and you'll be all right. A little while.
No,
So,
she was
you
younger.
notice
Just wondering.
you notice the
Little
library.
geisha girl outfit.
Hey, guys, you notice the library, and then you move into like the kitchen, and the servants notice you, and they don't say a word.
Well, I wouldn't leave the room.
Right. Well, you're not going to leave the library. You're not going to finish your perimeter.
Oh, so is the party in partially in the library as well?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
open.
then
It's
yeah.
completely open.
Okay.
You could get into the kitchen, which is kind of closed off, but it's not that big of a deal. If you wanted something specific, you would ask for it. And you notice that just as before you get into the kitchen, there is a hallway down, and if you know your old house is right, there's a stairway up around that corner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is nowhere near the front, and probably nobody's watching.
I mean, it doesn't have an obvious guard post.
Nope, there's not an obvious guard at the front stairs either, but they're going to notice you.
Well, this is like a servant stair.
Yeah, these are servant stairs,
I get that.
and Nigel wouldn't go up those stairs.
Well,
It wouldn't even occur to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't make a beeline for it, but I'm
Make a
I'm
note.
noting it as
Okay.
that is where I'm going
you
to
make
try.
the rest of the rounds. You
Yeah.
do notice guards with dogs in the back.
Oh, so I can't go out the back door.
Yeah, no. Well, you could.
But
You could even go out for a smoke or whatever.
Well,
you know.
there's probably a garden. Out
Yeah,
there.
there's a garden out there, but there are definitely guards with dogs out there. They're just a little less obvious than in the front, like they were when you came
They're more
earlier.
obvious out back.
Well, well, I mean, like the guard, the dogs aren't out and about in the front where it
Yeah.
would seem like there's a reason to have
Right.
them. They're in the back where it's a little less.
Live pianist.
Yes.
Nobody spinning Skrillex and Daft Punk.
No.
Oh, okay, just checking.
That's too bad.
That is a shame.
So,
Thank you.
you guys make your way through the evening. I need everyone to give me an idea roll.
I have an idea.
Okay.
I have an idea.
Who else?
I have an
Who
idea.
didn't succeed? Mr. Byrne, you already have the idea, so it doesn't matter.
Oh,
As the evening goes, it gets to be about 10:30, and there's a call for a toast.
oh. I would say at some point between 9 and 10:30, I've gone outside
Oh yeah,
to get some fresh air.
yeah.
If anybody's like checking up on me, I mean, because everybody's worried about my mental state.
Except Miss McCree.
So
She doesn't
McCree, apparently. She's worried about the tiger wound or the
Yeah.
lion wounds in her
Yeah.
chest.
So about 10:30, the five of you, except for Mr. Byrne, you get the idea, but going back in may or may not be something you want to do.
Well, I would think by then. I might
Since
be
they're
back
giving
inside.
toast, that means nobody's in the library. Locking those doors behind you and giving a quick search might be the time.
Oh well, in that case, I'm outside the library
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
running interference.
Okay. So, who all would like to go into the library?
Well,
I'm going.
this is basically my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I will go. I mean,
Mr.
I
Weld?
love books, so
I'm trying to be very charming and at my most charming and kind of draw attention. So I'll probably actually
You'll be the
give a
Running
toast or
class.
two.
Yeah, that's fine. And talk about the greatness of.
And I kind
whatever.
of set myself. I assume I share a glance with us as we all kind of get the same
Yeah.
brainstorm. And I kind of set myself away from the library, like opposite the door.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I'm making toast,
So
people are
you're
like,
looking at-
I
you
make a
guys-
toast while they're trying to go
You
in.
guys all get the idea, and you see Mr. Botticello and Professor Wentworth both kind of go
Yeah.
like towards, like nudge their heads towards the library, and you're like, and then you like move away, and then like the five of them kind of go that way. Are you staying? You're staying
I'm outside
Okay,
to keep people from going in.
Scott, are you going into the library?
No, I'm going to huzzah
Okay.
Weldy. And
So,
Huzzah!
three
He's
of
my
you,
hype man.
Exactly.
Wait. So I'm in the library with this asshole
and Miss McCree.
Alone.
Well, no,
oh, I
she's
was
in
going to
here.
say alone.
and Psycho Boy's outside the door.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, this is going to end great.
Okay, so you guys go into the library. It wouldn't be a bad idea.
You're
Keep
not
it
a
calm,
Protestant,
Jason.
are you? I said, you're not a Protestant, are you? Because they'll just kill you.
no, I'm not.
Get
Now,
around
Jason,
his
before you
bedpost.
freak out about this idea, it might be a good idea to lock the door behind you guys.
Yeah. I will shut the door and I will
You
watch
watch
it.
it going.
It gives that little bit longer, and the door's flimsy enough that if something terrible happens, you could shoulder your way through it. It's just going to be that
You're
the
one
guards
farmer
won't
away
shoulder
from
their way
Nirvana.
through it. They'll go get the key.
And I'm going to talk loudly to anyone who approaches the door.
Absolutely.
And
Okay. Are you going to
boorishly
attempt
announce who
to?
they are.
Yes, I will search the library.
No, are you going to attempt to lock the
Oh
door?
yeah, I'm gonna lock it. Doesn't have like a lockpick.
You're going to have to pick it.
I
No.
went to the room.
Okay.
Can I do anything to help?
Gonna search for traps.
You could roll lockpick.
Is there a base?
There is,
Yes,
and
it's
it's
one.
not high. Yeah.
Locksmith.
Where is it?
01.
Locksmith.
Wait, there's not like a lock on the door or a key in a
It's one of
lock?
those-
There's a keyhole.
Oh, but there's no. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was.
No, I don't do it.
Oh, I got not 3, but that's not
Yeah.
enough.
So that's okay. You stand there and fiddle with it for a minute, Professor Wentworth and Miss McCree. I would like you guys are going to start looking through.
Every party should have
Library
iron
Yes. No.
Ten.
No. Are you guys going to start looking through the library? Is that what I'm getting here? Yes.
Well, the first thing I'll probably do is examine the setup and try to figure out what the ordering is.
I need you both to give me a luck roll halved. So half of your luck.
Rounded
So
down
yours
or
is
up?
25. Rounded down. Okay. So as you're kind of getting a feel, you notice that there's a volume of Poe that is completely not in the right spot. Like you're not a librarian, but you're like, whoa.
So it's like
even if it wasn't
Farmer's Almanac,
yeah,
the collected works of Poe. And I'm just like,
yeah.
One of these things
So,
is not like
are you going to pull the book out?
well, I'll look at what's around the book first.
It's books. I mean,
books.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pull it off the
okay.
shelf.
You pull out the book, and as you kind of pull it out and hold it kind of a little loosely, a slip of paper slides out. Give me a spot hidden. Nothing?
Beige.
You notice it pull out a book. Give me a spot hidden.
Can I notice it from the door?
You're still fiddling with lock. Professor.
Professor Wentworth. 24.
Yeah. So you notice that as
Look,
hold on.
You dropped something.
No.
Here, I'll look.
Can I tell you? You notice that behind the book there's a little switch. That book that he just pulled out, there's a switch. You are like, piece of paper.
Oh.
Mr. Wentworth, there's something up there behind the books. Can you see that?
Now that she's pointed it out to you, there's clearly a switch. Are you going to flip said switch?
You guys found something back there?
Do you remember what happened to us last
I am
time
going
we
to
were
point
in
the
this
switch out to
secret-
Mr. Botticelli and then back away.
Give me another
Cello.
give me another lockpick. Or locksmith.
41 under 50.
Okay, you lock the door. You hear Mr. Byrne, you hear the door click into a locked position.
Yeah, after
You're
20
fine
seconds
with
of
that.
fiddling.
Yeah, you hear click. Yay! So he points out the switch to you. Are you going to go?
Those weren't the handcuffs I'm used to unlocking.
Yeah, I'm just going to be like, son, I pulled the book out, man.
I will go up
Hidden
and
switch.
Are you
And
gonna
I'm going to
flip
back away.
I saw it.
I am going to take my stick and
No,
the
you
end of my
are not.
shillelagh, I'm going to
I don't think you-
slightly tap it up to turn
You
the switch
flip
on.
the switch. The bookcase slides to the side, and behind it is a wall safe.
Is the wall safe locked?
Yes.
I will
However,
attempt
there's
to
a
fix
slip
that.
of paper on the floor.
I will pick it up.
I'm going to try
Okay.
to pick a lock.
It says R15, L14, R13, L12.
I will
Never
enter
mind.
the combination.
And it unlocks.
I
You
will
find
open the safe.
inside 4 books.
Dun dun dun.
Mine?
Ours.
Really quick question. How are you getting these out of the building?
Is there a window?
Yes. There are guards outside.
Actually,
We should each take one.
You're wearing
We
a...
should each
actually,
take one.
you're wearing a gaudy dress, right?
Yes, with a big bun.
Okay.
I say we...
Well, it would back of your waistband underneath your jackets.
No, that would bulge. We can
How
do
big
something
are the
as...
books? I have a garden.
Yeah.
One of them is like smallish. The size of a LARP book.
She's got boxy hips.
A LARP
A
book.
trade paperback.
Yeah.
She's got
So
boxy
trade.
hips.
The other books are full size, like big,
All
thick,
right,
heavy books.
do they have titles on them?
Yeah.
If it's like Mom's Secret Recipes, I'm not going to
The
bother.
Nakodic manuscripts,
Oh, jeez.
selections de livre devant, People of the Monolith, and Life as a God. And as you look at Life as a
People of the Monolith?
God,
I've heard of that book.
as you look at the book Life of a God, you notice that the quote unquote leather that it's bound in doesn't
I know where this is
look
going.
quite right. And then you're looking at the People of the Monolith, and that is a different kind of leather. Also, doesn't look quite right.
What
Different
is all
than the
those
two?
books, Mr. Wentworth?
Oh yeah, like the other 2 books are bound in leather, like a proper book should be. This
Okay.
leather doesn't look like cow leather.
Yeah.
If you had to
Looks
guess, it'd be
kinda-
something not cow.
Like kangaroo or perhaps deer skin, maybe, or
Okay.
You could
Or
roll a
people.
cult if you'd like.
It's the most dangerous scheme.
I
Most
have,
dangerous leather.
I got difficult check.
Okay. Did you
do not?
What now? I'm sorry.
I already have.
Oh.
I have actually succeeded.
Oh,
on
did you
once.
succeed?
Yes. One time I've succeeded.
Mr. Botticello, a life as a god is that looks like human flesh. Can you go ahead and give me a
Is he
sanity
gonna say
check
that
now
out
that you
loud?
realize that?
You're looking at a book made from human
the book
remains.
is people.
35 under 80.
Okay, you don't lose any sanity. However, are you going to tell the other two members of your party?
I don't want to know.
Okay.
Are you sure you
this
don't
is
be
a
like, oh, by the
leather-bound
way, human
book.
The
flesh?
other book
This is a leather-bound book.
You're positive that the other book is not human flesh, nor is it cow flesh, nor is it animal flesh. You
That's
don't
not
know
good.
what it is.
I
It is
flesh.
flesh.
I will explain that to you. This book is of a leather I have never seen before.
Okay.
We need our big game hunter to look at this.
That's probably a good idea.
Great.
He should not look at the other one
Why?
Bring me into this.
because it's just leather. What
I'm
it's
gonna
from doesn't
look at
matter.
the other one. Like, I'm not
Is
gonna
there like
for
an
another
ear stuck
roll. I'm just
upside
gonna-
of
Yeah,
it?
the
Yeah,
one-
like the human flesh one. I'm just gonna be like, why?
I would wash your hands after you're done with that.
As you're looking at it, go ahead and give me a sanity check because you're closely inspecting it.
I'm just watching these guys look at it. I don't.
I failed by 1 point.
You lose 1 point.
Okay.
You as you're looking at it, you're like, huh. My elbow kind of wrinkles like, oh god, that's how my
Don't
elbow
tell me.
wrinkles.
Ah, he said elbow skin.
So I realized it's human skin.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna be like, ugh.
So,
From
you
the
guys
look on his
have...
face,
I'm
I
going
just
to
realized
purposely
that
try
I
to
don't
not
want to
react
know.
because I don't want her
I
to freak out.
tried to warn you.
I'm sure the listeners are aware because they've just listened to the podcast where this was revealed, or where these books were talked about a week or two ago. But it's been a month for us.
Sure.
Where did we get the list?
Jonah Kensington told you of 4 books that Robert Carlyle had.
They're
that
super rare.
That did not go with him, and these are very rare books. Well, they're not. Some of them are exceptionally rare.
They were not found.
They were not found,
at the
they-
massacre site.
but they clearly were here in the library.
And Jonah Kensington is the publisher.
Yes.
Okay.
Of even like the human skinned ones?
No. He's
no.
the publisher.
No. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
Jackson
I was
Elias.
like,
No.
publishing in human skin. Great. Okay. Hey, Botticello, you got one you can put a notch on that I agree with. Oh, never mind.
Hey, look, it's a special
Actually-
edition, bound in human skin.
We'll put that on Amazon. Make
okay.
it good.
I have an idea of how to smuggle these books out.
How do
It
we-
might sound slightly improper. You're wearing a big fluffy dress. I suggest...
Mr. Botticello,
not that
I
big,
do
but-
not think that is appropriate.
How else can we get these out of here?
I don't
You
know
just have to
you
walk
are.
really slowly,
Slowly.
as these are held together by your legs.
We'll just tie the 4 books together.
Yeah.
And then
What do I have
grabs
it
her
tied with?
side.
you have a
Suspenders.
belt, right?
If I take my belt off, my pants are coming down.
No,
Probably
suspenders.
not.
Okay.
We don't want that.
One
And
of
then
the
you just tie it
one of
together
the
and then
2 of
hitch
you,
them
or
on.
maybe Mr. Byrne, could probably get away with taking off your belt and using it to strap them together.
Okay, I'll take my belt off and strap the books together.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're
Because-
just outside. so-
Right.
And then I'll hide the little ones in my bun.
Yeah, you need to hide all of them.
In your what?
My bun.
On the back. The bone.
Oh, the bun. That's
Yeah,
not what I heard.
basically,
I was like, in your
We're going to use the belt to anchor it to her dress.
How
and then
big-
allow it
how
to
big
take
are
off.
like,
you?
how large and ample is her
I'm
posterior?
5,
No, how much do you weigh?
Not a lot.
I'm athletic.
Okay, I'm 300 pounds. My belt is big.
Yeah.
Oh
We will
my God.
belt this onto you and strap the books to it. So
Okay.
that way they're dangling
So-
out your backside.
You guys
Oh, great.
get the books, unlock the door. Are you leaving or sticking around?
Dangling from
I'm
well,
starting
I'm
to
going to
feel
just-
very, very tired, and my side is hurting. So I think I
Yeah.
will excuse myself to the car.
Well, no, hold on a second.
Escort her.
No, we're going to handle this like gentlemen. First, I'm going to specifically make eye contact with you.
Do
Well,
the
and
finger
yeah,
to
do
side
the
of the
kind of
nose.
like finger to the side of the nose baseball sign.
And I'm going
And then-
to like go.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to like lean over to you and be like, "You're sick," and offer her my arm to escort her out.
Yeah.
Okay, so the
I will
3 gentlemen, Mr. Botticello, Mr. Byrne, and Professor Wentworth, all lead her out.
Just
no,
yeah.
No,
not all at once.
Yeah.
She's my ride. She is with
Well,
me, so we have to
regardless.
leave together. But yeah,
I'm not leaving you.
Do I need to do some kind of spot thing
Well,
to
as
check
soon
yours
as we
out?
get
no, you guys are keeping an eye out for this.
Then I'm going to elbow Weldy for another. I think it's another time for a rousing round of.
before we leave the library, I'm going to
Another
make sure.
toast.
While you folks have been in the library, and Mr. Byrne, you've been witness to this. Captain Wilkerson has been giving rousing tales of how things are done in England,
Oh,
and
so
and
sad
really
is that.
enthralling everyone. This crowd is eating out of their hands, and Mr. Weld chips in occasionally with some. This is how the Orient is stories. They're really keeping the most of the crowd, and even as people are coming in, they're like taking off their coats and then wandering right over. So they're doing a really good job of keeping the whole crowd.
Tales from Africa
Hello.
and the Far East.
As we left the library, before we left it, I'm going to re-close the lock, re-switch the switch so that way.
Oh, yeah, I assume
replace the
Close
lock.
everything up.
Yeah.
Just leave everything gaping open so they walk in and go.
I will also
robbed.
It's
pick
best not to
like
leave
the
assumptions.
best 4 books that probably can't imitate human leather or whatever. I'm going to put them in the safe before we lock it, just so if somebody goes, they like won't immediately recognize that something's missing.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
that's fair.
Yes.
So you guys put the books away. Professor Wentworth escorts Miss McCree out.
I keep an eye on the staff. I follow like
Yeah.
a few steps behind.
And you're going to
Keep
wander
an eye
out
on
shortly
the staff,
after.
make
yeah.
sure that they're
And
not.
you're
gonna
also
leave,
going to
yeah, shortly
clearly like timing it so that you're not going to get caught. And then you Mr. Weld and Captain Wilkerson, you notice that everyone has left, and at that point, I need persuades from one of you to let them know that it's kind of time for you to go, without them thinking anything's weird. Does that make sense?
Exit stage left.
Absolutely. Persuade. Oh yeah.
Okay.
47:55.
So you wrap up a story, and then you just seem kind of tired, boat lagged or whatever.
Yeah, over the pond at 6 hours from now.
So you two kind of make your way out as well, making proper excuses and assuring. And Erica stops Mr. Weld on the way out and says, "Mr. Weld, I heard that you had wanted to speak with me."
Oh, yes. I did have some questions. Have you had any dealings with Mr. Kensington lately?
I'm aware of Mr. Kensington. He has been to a party or two that I've been at. I don't think that I dealt with him personally. He was friendly with some friends of my brother.
I had heard some stories that there might be someone investigating that and maybe writing a book about your late brother. And I'm so sorry about his passing, and my condolences.
Yes,
and so forth.
there were a couple of gentlemen here, and she kind of looks over at Captain Wilkerson and looks back. There were some gentlemen here, like Captain Wilkerson here, earlier this week that had discussed Jackson Elias with me, and the book that he may be writing. Is that what you're...
Well, I'd heard stories. I didn't know that the good captain was involved, but has that troubled you in any way? Is there anything I can do to assist any of my...
I don't believe so. My brother's passing has been long enough ago that there's not much I can do. I believe that the king's justice was met, and that is as it is.
I'm going to look at her jewelry. Is she wearing anything strange, occulty?
No. She looks, you kind of grab the whole look of her. She looks perfectly normal and fine.
Mm-hmm.
Everything seems to be right.
Well, I just wanted to offer... I understand how, for people like us, certain things can embarrass a family.
Absolutely.
And I may understand that more than perhaps some, and I smile. So if you would need anything or
Absolutely.
any help,
I appreciate.
would be in a position to perhaps provide some perspective.
Absolutely. Do tell your cousin that it was lovely seeing him last month, and I would love to see him again.
Yes, I will pass that along.
Oh, and again, madam, I do hope that I did not bring any sort of...
You
I
did.
hope I did not upset you.
Well, you did ruffle the feathers of my manservant.
Wait. Apologies, then.
None needed. So, I sorry to hear that you two are leaving, but it has been a long night already. Yes.
Before they come out,
Sure.
I want to slide up next to Mr. Whitworth.
Professor Wentworth.
Professor Whitworth.
Stab him!
And that's
Beat him with a stick.
When have I ever stabbed anybody?
First time. for
Professor
everything.
Whitworth, you appear to be a man who likes to acquire knowledge. I have
Statement.
books within my possession I'd be more than willing to share with you. I want access to them before. I will also be performing a ritual tomorrow. You're more than welcome to attend it and learn from it what you can. As long as we're working upon the same goals.
And what does this ritual entail?
My stick, I plan on doing the same thing with it. My shillelagh, I plan on doing it the same thing to his brass knuckles.
To whose?
To Mr. Byrne's brass
And
knuckles.
what does that entail?
It entails a sacrifice, unfortunately.
A
A bovine.
cow.
Correct.
So you have to kill a cow
I have to kill a cow.
to make a magic stick.
No, to make a magic brass knuckles.
Regardless.
Do
Sure.
you want to watch this or not?
Sure. Like, obviously,
I'm
not
extending
really
this,
believing you.
I am extending this offer in hopes that you might learn something and we might be able to reach an agreement on things.
Very well. I plan on making copies of these anyway on our likely trip east.
As you
And
do on
that'll
the
do
rest
us
of it.
tonight for Masks of Gnarltep. I hope you enjoyed this episode. You can always find us on Facebook at facebook.com/nerdsdomain. You can find us on Twitter. All those are out there. Go over to iTunes and give us a review. You can find our shirts over at /loot.com at tinyurl.com/ndshirts. And we will talk to you guys real soon.